Okay, this is Glacier. They don't get too big, about like this. And they're early producer. This is my third or fourth time to grow. That was the end of the seed packet. So I'm going to taste it and see if I think it's a keeper. Bit of a thick skin. Definitely has that burst of tomato flavor. The thick skin could come from growing conditions, but there is a skin in my mouth, so hold on. All right, my daughter took a bite. I just took a second bite. It's got tomato flavor, but I think it's mild. She said it's not her favorite. I'm going to go ahead and take Glacier off of our rotation. Now that I've used all the seeds, I don't feel like I need to grow it again. Definitely that thick skin is another thick skins in my mouth. So I think it's a semi-determinate plant. That is a benefit. It doesn't get too big, but it'll keep producing. The one I have out there in low part sun is doing quite well. I do think this plant would not do well in high heat. In fact, when I have planted it in more full sun locations, it comes quickly out of the garden. It doesn't do too well. The seeds seem kind of big. This year I'm not tasting a ton of mealiness in this particular fruit, but in other years when I've grown this, I remember thinking it was a little bit on the mealy, kind of gritty side, squishy side. So there we go. There is my review of Glacier for 2026. And now we've got Tasmanian Chocolate. This is about a normal size fruit. This one's a little bigger. It could have been infused blossom. This one's not peak ripeness yet. It still has a little bit of color changing to go, but this one is nice and supple and ripe. And I'm going to slice it up and we're going to try it. I've grown this one maybe 3 or 4 times, and I have saved the seeds from it as well. A nice little bowl here. Really pretty inside. At this point, I'm not seeing a lot of seeds, which could be a good thing. This is a dwarf, part of the dwarf project, and I'll put on the screen the parents. Look at that. That looks just simply gorgeous. I don't really notice a lot of the mealiness. I have noticed that in the past if I let them get too ripe, this variety. You can see the gel. It does seem to have a lot of gel and seeds. And I'm going to take a bite, and then my daughter will take a bite too. That is smooth. Not a thick skin at all. The flavor hits you immediately, and it is complex and smoky, but it's smooth at the same time. Very flavorful. Definitely different than a traditional tomato flavor. It's not that tangy in your face, hey, this is ketchup type flavor. Very nice, very nice. I'm going to pause and let my daughter try and see what she thinks. She just confirmed that it's pretty good, and that's something coming from her. She did note the sweetness, and I forgot to mention that it does have a beautiful, not too sweet, but a nice, sweet, smoky flavor. I really like it. He is in my rotation just because he is a prolific grower, hardy plant, only gets about 2 to 3 feet tall, and he produces like a champion. I love this plant. I've actually kept it in my kitchen before over winter as a house plant, and it actually produced in my kitchen. So Tasmanian Chocolate is in my rotation. He is a keeper for sure. Again, I've made videos on this one before as well. That other one wasn't quite 100% ripe. It's still good enough to eat, and we need some for a tomato sandwich. I'm cutting them up. I wanted to show you this though, and I wanted to remark on the coloring. This fruit is just gorgeous. I don't know if you noticed that before I cut it all up, but it's a purple brown red. It's just gorgeous. I did get a little bit more mealiness when I got up towards the core area, but it's just so delicious. I'm definitely in love with this plant, more so this year than maybe years prior. I think this is the 4th year to grow it. So if you get rock bottom, and there's some point in time where if it's solid, you can let it ride out. If it's squishy and gross and growing bacteria, you know, you want to throw that fruit away. But this one had an issue early on, and it was solid and firm, so I decided to let it go. And you can see we got a fruit. So that's just something to keep in mind. Keep an eye on your fruits, and sometimes even if it has a defect on the bottom from a little bit of blossom end rot starting or some other blossom issue, deformation, as long as it remains solid and firm and doesn't get squishy, you should be able to get those fruits to ripen. All right, now we're going to do Rosella. There were two that were ripe, and one of them some animal had gotten a hold of, and I was too afraid to eat it. So look at how gorgeous. It's almost black. It's a beautiful dark purple, almost got some black tint to it. Y'all have talked up this fruit, this tomato, to me, this variety. So I'm so anxious to try it. My daughter's going to try it too. Wow. Oh, look at that. I might have to take a picture of that too. Can you zoom in a little bit? That is just gorgeous. Wow. That is just gorgeous. All right, let me have a bite. Is it recording? You sure? Is it still recording? Mm-hmm. Time to stop. I'm gonna leave you a tiny bite because I need a little bit more information. My daughter says she likes it a little bit, but maybe tough skin. I have to take a second bite to see. It's not as tough as Glacier. It dissolves. I don't really get that. It's a burst. I think it's a hard burst at first, but I don't have any skin in my mouth or anything. It's definitely flavorful. I think I'm going to have to try a few more as they come off the vine and see what I think. It's good. I still love black cherry, though, I think more than this. But I may change my mind as the season goes. And here's my yummy, yummy lunch ready to go. My Tasmanian chocolate sandwich. I think this is my third tomato sandwich of the year so far. Today is July the 1st. We've been getting tomatoes for about 2 weeks now. Tasmanian chocolate, pole big, and a couple of these cherry tomatoes are starting to come in. And I think that's about it. But I planted the first two really early, and that is why they produce before the cherry tomatoes. But I'm going to enjoy the sandwich. And so we've got three we talked about today. Tasmanian chocolate, a keeper. Glacier, I'm retiring that. I'm not going to grow it anymore. And then the Rosella, I am undecided if it will replace black cherry. Black cherry replaced chocolate cherry in my rotation. So who knows? I'm going to give Roselle a few more shots. Definitely, I will be eating lots of those as the summer progresses and we get more and more cherry tomatoes coming in. All right, guys, what are your thoughts? Have you grown any of these tomatoes? Let me know below, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for being here so much. I really appreciate you. And more videos are coming on tomato tasting very, very soon. So stay tuned. And also, I just wanted to say, stay cool. It is so hot out there right now. But are you eating tomatoes yet? Let me know.